Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Austin here, bringing you guys game number 4 between TSL HyuN, the blue Zerg at the bottom left of Atlantis Spaceship, up against Acer Nerchio, the red Zerg at the top left. I do apologize for the long delay between game number 3 and this game. I ran into, I'm not even going to say technical difficulties, just made a few technical accidents. I made a video to music called StarCraft 2 Close Battle. I found that pretty interesting to do, so do check it out if you haven't already. And so in my fraps I disabled microphone input, so when I recorded this game last week and uploaded it to YouTube without actually checking it over, there was no sound. I forget the user's name, but someone commented on this video and told me that there was no input for myself, just game sound, which I only recently realized was the result of my disabling it in fraps. So this week I had been very busy, and it took me a while to be able to have the time to sit down and cast. I have a long weekend this weekend, so you can expect a ton of videos. I'm going to be bringing you guys the rest of this series, and Bomber versus Feast from the RSL, Russian StarCraft 2 League, I believe is its name. Just make sure to check that out once this series has wrapped up. But my question is, will it wrap up in this game? HyuN is leading 2-1. Game number 1 went to him as a result of cheese. Nerchio out-macroed him in game 2, and then HyuN was able to come out on top in game 3. If you want the details of each of those games, you're going to have to watch at least some of them. It has been too long since I last casted them for me to be able to confidently tell you what exactly happened. I still remember game 1 was cheese, because Nerchio was quite upset about that. These two players tend to have mirror playstyles until a certain timing window, at which point Nerchio seemed to favor Muta play after he gets his lair, while HyuN goes for the standard speed roaches, adding on some Hydras and Infestors. Ling's always mixed in there. That is what I find to be the principal to ZvZ matchup, is Roach, Ling, Hydra, Infestor, and no real tech after that. You seldom see the game progress to the point where Broodlords are viable, and you see both players stick on 2 bases for a fairly long amount of time in comparison to what they must do against Protoss and Terran. You see a lot in ZvP that the Zerg grabs the fast 3 bases. In ZvZ that is not the case. For most players, there are always, of course, some individuals with very unconventional playstyles, like StarTale's Life, who is in the round of 4 of the GSL Season 4 as we speak. I'm definitely rooting for him, as I'm a fan of StarTale. If you guys want to let me know who you're rooting for out of Tasia versus Life and MVP versus Rain from not Fnatic Rain, SK Telecom T1 Rain from Brood War, who's been phenomenal this season, do let me know. As we are getting underway in this game, we do have 2 queens finishing from Nerchio. HyuN slightly behind with that, but his metabolic boost is ahead. These timings have been observed in the past few games. I forgot to mention that one of the other principles of ZvZ is, of course, Banelings, so it's Ling Baneling into Roach, Hydra, Infestor, with Lings mixed in. As some Baneling detonations at the natural of your opponent can win you the game if they are really well executed. There is a predictive spine crawler here from Nerchio as he gets his own Baneling nest in his main up here, right next to his spawning pool, as it should be. As Lings progress from the spawning pool to the Baneling nest, they can just jump right out of this little pool here and nestle in these little crevices at the bottom of this Baneling nest here. I always thought there was a little connector piece at the end of the Baneling nest. I guess this little web that you guys see is what's connecting the top to the bottom. I always thought this back spine piece here was connected to the bottom, but upon my zooming in, I realized it wasn't. Nerchio is getting a quicker lair. That could mean mutas for him. In game number 2, that gave him a large advantage. He wasn't able to kill very many drones with mutas, but he just simply managed to snipe a lot of... contain his opponent. Not snipe a lot of anything, just contain his opponent off of 2-3 bases, while Nerchio got up to 4. He's going to run into the third with some speedlings. Very nice choice from him. One spine crawler up here from HyuN, but the other one will take some time to finish here. Two banners from HyuN. One of them does not detonate too well. Another one just hanging out here at the spine crawler. Two wings of HyuN getting surrounded by two of Nerchio. Not two, by about, let's see, that was 6 of Nerchio. He's now morphing in 2 banelings. We'll have to see what he can do with those. HyuN getting his Roach Warren. Well, Nerchio goes for the Spire. We could very, very likely be seeing Muta play in the upcoming few minutes. HyuN grabbing 2 gases at his natural. Did I say the third before? I remember having said that. I meant the natural. My apologies for making that mistake. For some reason, this just felt like a third location. The ramp is a little bit far away from the natural here on Atlantis spaceship. Now, Nerchio just denying the third. It is the third this time of HyuN, who is getting an Infestation Pit, his missile attacks level 1, and Glial Reconstitution, which is the Roach Speed upgrade. 2 Banelings morphing from Nerchio somewhere else on the map. Defensive Banelings up at his own base. He's now going to be moving them out as he drops creep with this Overlord. It's hard to differentiate between military units and Overlords because if you look right here, there's so many blips of red and blue. I can't tell which is which, except most of the Overlords are immobile. So when I see a unit moving as fast as these Speedwings are, I generally know. HyuN moving in here, trying to establish his third yet again. Will the drone die? Will it make it to the extractor? It will die. Unable to morph into the extractor, cancel, and then morph into something else. What has HyuN seen? He's now moving in with his Overseer. He will see the Spire, so he's going to have to establish some Spore Crawlers quite quickly. Nerchio still containing HyuN off of 2 bases. He's finished his third as we speak. Looking very, very strong in this game so far. If he's able to deal some reasonable damage to his meters, which he is doing already, bordering on supply blocking his opponent by destroying all of his Overlords, that will also deny him some map vision and general map control, as he will not know when his opponent is pushing out. HyuN getting 4 Spore Crawlers, but will this third be denied yet again? It seems as though it will be. There's no drone moving out, but HyuN is dropping creep at that location. He is contained just like he was a couple of games ago. To my knowledge, that game was on Daybreak, this game on Atlantis Spaceship. I don't know why I stumbled there. I know my map quite well. I've said it several times this game. 2 missile attacks on the way from HyuN, while Nerchio on the back of this has gotten his Roach Warren and Infestation Pit, getting his Pathogen Glands and missile attacks level 1, so it's not like he's put himself too far behind. He's a base up on his opponent. He's defending against this Ling aggression here. He's sniped a total of 5 workers to his opponent's 0, and HyuN can't seem to get a third base, regardless of how hard he tries. He's going to have to wait for Hydras or good Fungals to be able to actually grab another hatchery. And since Nerchio has Mutas, if HyuN were to try to get a ghost base, Nerchio would eventually find out and would be able to completely tear it apart with these 8 Mutalisks. He's not even building anymore, so he got the Spire, built 8 Mutas, and has not over-invested. Nerchio is a very intelligent player. He knows that if he drops too much money in Mutalisks and HyuN ends up grabbing some Hydralisks, it will be a complete waste of money. But 8 Mutas here will not be a waste of money at all. Some of them have gotten 1 kill, some of them none. But the most important role they've fulfilled is that of they've just contained HyuN so well. Now our Blue Zerg from TSL is going to move out, but the Muta's very well split up, so Fungal's not going to be too effective here. They may be able to trap 4 or so Mutas, but the rest will be able to escape. Now Nerchio pulling out as he knows that there are investors here. Just as I said, 4 Mutas getting fungled, and only a total of 2 of them actually die, as HyuN was not able to chain those fungals together too well. Back at Nerchio's natural location, he's got a 4th base on the way. He's got 163 supply to 100. He's won this game without ever making a definitive push. He's legitimately put himself in such a good position. HyuN is grabbing his Hydro Stand now. But Nerchio can push out with this force and outright win the game. He has far too many units to be able to lose this. His upgrades slightly going to be slightly behind as the 2 missile attacks of HyuN just now finished. But if we look at our army supply tab, even 107 to 47. Nerchio would have to... StarCraft 2 would have to allow for you to fungal your own units for Nerchio to be able to have to lose this. For him to even be able to lose this, doesn't have to. Or did that wrong? Only a handful of roaches now fungled here. Nerchio able to get in. About half of his force was getting fungled quite well, but he's moving in with his reinforcement. Infestor's throwing down a lot of infested carries, so likes to do so in engagements. These queens here just bathing in fungal growth, and Nerchio going to march in here. And even in an almost comical way, he will be able to deny the third again if he so wishes. Pushing into the spine crawler wall here of HyuN. Nerchio has definitely taken this game to be expecting a GG quite soon here from HyuN. And this series will go to an ace match. It is from the Go 4 SC2 series of tournaments. I did not mention that earlier, so I might do that now. And it is a best of 5. HyuN was leading 2-1 as we heard earlier. And now Nerchio, unless he makes any fundamental mistakes, will tie this game 2-2. He's got a lot of reinforcement roaches shooting in. And HyuN transfusing this hatchery twice, but it still will die to the fire of Nerchio's roaches. He's soon going to get 1 carapace and 2 missile attacks. Just look at his clump of reinforcements. 175 to 82 supply. And there is the GG from HyuN. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I will see you in our ace match game number 5. Cheers and enjoy.